And now they're ambushed the forward vehicle. Here comes the LVT, and here comes what's called the section tank and the Sherman up in support of the two vehicles in front. They're disembarking right now, the American troops, the American infantrymen. They're going to spread out in what's called a skirmish line. See the one gentleman there in front has what's called a Browning automatic DAR. And 20 shot clip. He shot 550 rounds per minute. It was 30-06 rounds. Very, very effective. Usually a lot of them had a bipod on them. Like I said, you're going to see most of them are carrying M1 Garands. Here comes the section tank up on the left side. Come up and give the infantry support. The tactic they're doing as far as what's called squad tactics is you have 5 and 6 men. They're leapfrogging. What they would do, they would leapfrog. One would go up, lay a base of fire, then the other one would move forward. And that's how the American GI during World War II would attack in a position. A lot of them also would try to do what's called envelopment. They would, if there was enough GIs out there, they would have another squad on the left side. Their mission would be to try to get in the ground behind these guys that are this first line of defense that the Germans have got. Here comes the Sherman to come up and give them support. And what a lot of them would do, the GIs would probably hide behind that Sherman and follow it up. As you can see, they've kind of got to the first line of defense. Also, there's one gentleman out here who has what's called a 1903-03 Springfield. It was used during World War II toward the first part. The bolt action 5-shot 30-06 flip-fed weapon. A lot of GIs use those for snipers. They put scopes on them and use them for a sniper rifle. And you can see as the Germans are falling back to their stronghold back there. Maybe they're going to try to suck some GIs in and have another ambush or even maybe another, they may do a counterattack. The Germans were notorious for counterattacks. That's why you had the Battle of the Bulge. That was Hitler's last stand. He thought the counterattack like that, if he could force the Allies back, his main goal was to form an end for trying to cut the American and British forces in half. A lot of these GIs are wearing what's called the M41 pod helmet. You also see what they have on their back. They have their backpack. It had their mess kit. They have their T-shovel for entrenching. Their ammunition belt was called a 10 pocket. They could carry 10 clips of 30-06 rounds with their M1 Garand. A lot of them would carry a couple of bandoliers because a lot of times they didn't have a chance to get back to the supply line. As you can see, they're spreading out a little bit. The section tank and the Sherman will probably move up here a little bit to still give them more support as they move forward. Also, what you may see here in a few minutes, if they ran into too much opposition and ran into a real bad strong point other than what the tank could handle, there would probably be someone on a radio out there. Radio was called a BC-1000 backpack. Everybody gets the radios confused. Everybody calls the handheld, they call it a walkie-talkie. It's not called a walkie-talkie, it's called a handy-talkie. It's a BC-611, whereas the backpack radio, which is the BC-1000, that's your walkie-talkie. It's on the back of a GI. And what they would do, if they got stopped, they would call in air support. So here comes some planes now. It looks like maybe the Allied commander called in some air support. So what they would do, the airplane, most likely what they would have had for this type of operation is they would use P-51 Mustangs. They call them tank busters. If the Germans had any kind of armor out there, the Mustangs would come in real low with their rockets and their 50 caliber machine guns and just race the whole battlefield and probably take out that whole berm and everything right over there. Like I said, this is a recreation of what you might see. Here comes 2 more planes coming in on. call the hard deck. They would come in and bomb and straight to As you can see down there, also the Germans have some heavy artillery. Looks like they have a flak gun. They're trying to shoot the warbirds down. Also, there's probably some mortars, and I think maybe they may have some German howitzers. It'll come back in again. But you'll probably see the gun flash. There he goes. They're flashing the gun right now. It's over there in the as you can hear it back in the background, that's what's called a flak gun for the Germans. But now the tanks are going to move forward because the infantry's moved forward, and they're going to come up here and they're going to support them. If you'll see on the Sherman, it's just riddled with guns. It has what's called a 6 caliber machine gun on top, like a 30 caliber machine gun, the M1919 air-cooled machine gun. It's about 1,100 rounds per minute. Inside the tank body itself, inside the hull, they would have another 30. You had a 5-man crew, you had a gunner that's out on the outside, you had the commander, or tank commander, and you had your driver and assistant driver. As you can see, they're trying to move forward. They're going to try to take this strong point from the Germans. You see the Sherman's going to move forward and give them another blast. Our section tank has fired a couple rounds. As you notice about the planes, they're in pairs. A lot of times the planes, the standard procedure for planes was they always flew in pairs. It's what you call his wingman. That was just, he was more or less like a spotter too.